Okay, well, our next poet, he's an exciting guy. This is Robbie.
Yeah,
Come on, Robbie.
Exciting. Hello, everybody. I am Robbie. Chris, thank you for inviting me here.
Thank you.
Chris called me on the telephone and spoke to me over the phone for me to get here. I can tell you don't think this is remarkable. If you're not aware, my generation texts. They would text me, hey, come to my thing. And then my generation would nervously text me like an hour before, you still coming? Much prefer a telephone call. These things are tough. Trevor, I don't think the age gap is a problem, or the problem. I think at this point in the show, I'm like the airline movie. The human body just cannot tolerate hours of poetry. It gets worn out. I'm going to hit you with one here, just one poem.
One hitter quitter.
One hitter quitter. I don't think you want more. Rudy G, he requested I read this poem.
Rudy.
I've never performed it before. So if you're bored of it, if you want to take a shit, if you don't like it, blame Rudy. It's called Poets and 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 Poets. For about 25 years, I thought I was an introvert. I don't think so anymore. It's just that I got used to being alone. Last night I went underground to a microphone for poets. I had a flat poem with me, a pink-nippled one page of free verse I intended to breathe on, erect them milkers. Small crowd, San Diego in late July. Most of the audience at these things is other poets. This frustrates me a bit. I feel like a whore going to see other whores. And we don't pay each other. Why don't regular Dicks and Janes like poetry? That's more difficult than figuring out why I shrank into shyness at around age 10. Why my expectation of humans is to ignore me, feeling vindicated when they do, and doing screwy things like reading poetry at these things. Probably misguided psychologically. I saw Chris Van Noy come up to the restaurant after reading. I was on the side like fries, smoking a cigarette, feeling alone again, thinking how I'd write it in my journal about how alone I feel. I went after Chris to share a smoke with him, but he had turned down the street walking east towards the scores of urban campers, the crack blocks, and the tourniquet lanes. He had a satchel full of poetry over his shoulder, an old hat, and a short gait like nowhere is going to find his peace. I thought about calling after him or running, however ridiculous that might have been, but the image of Chris Van Noy down Island Avenue put a kind of hope in me. Chris knows more about being alone than me.
Yeah.
Look at him sitting there all alone. Thank you so much. Let's hear it again for Robbie.